Hey everyone, welcome to the Weiner Wellness Week virtual summit. We're in our fall fiesta and we are just loaded with information. We have a great week going on with all of our guest speakers. We have a great guest speaker coming up later today. We have Charlene Bollinger from The Truth About Cancer, and she is just a fantastic person that we're so lucky to get to be able to work with us through this virtual summit. We had Sonia McGowan on this morning, Charmaine Ruthin, and so many amazing people, the whole Nutritional Frontier staff, the whole Weiner Wellness Center staff, and everyone just bringing great information. So I hope what I have for you today meets up to all of that, because we got some great stuff going. But I'm going to share with you something I put together called Daily Dose of Nutrition. And I put this together because I get a lot of questions on what I do every day. I'm in good health, I have good energy, I'm happy, I'm healthy, all of that. So a lot of people ask me, what do you do every day? And this is what I recommend for everyone as a baseline. These are foundations, these are general recommendations that I can make to anyone and almost everyone, no matter where you are. And of course, working through a practitioner, if you have certain health concerns or issues, you'll want to go a little bit deeper than this, but this is just a general recommendation and some things that I do personally every day. So one thing, I'm going to incorporate a lot of lifestyle tips into this, and this is our Holistic Truth magazine by Nutritional Frontiers. This is something that our team puts together. We have a lot of guests bring in information. You'll see a lot of articles in there, but this is put together by Mike Mastracci, all the graphics, all these charts here. So what you're seeing is done by him, and it's just awesome. Our 4 issues that we release throughout the year focus on reset, remove, rebuild, and recharge. So a lot of where this information that I talk about resides is in the reset phase or maybe rebuild. And there's a time and a place for those different things in your life, but this is just the general foundation. So we like to get those foundations to an optimal level. And that starts with these 6 things: nutrition, what you're putting into your body, what is food versus what is not food. If you've ever heard the term junk food, there's no such thing. There's either junk or there's food. So just knowing the difference between that, using food and nutrition to fuel your body. And then we look at hydration. I'll talk a little bit more about this, but always making sure you're drinking water and knowing the difference between what's good water and what you should avoid. Tap water. Joe Messino talked a lot about fluoride in a presentation this week. Drinking good water for you that's going to benefit you is really important. Movement, making sure you're getting your steps in, daily activity of 20 to 30 minutes of actual exercise, and the rest of the day just moving around. I have my Apple Watch on that counts my steps, it tracks my activity. And I set daily goals. I want at least 10,000 steps every day. I want to close my rings, which is achieving my goals that I have set in terms of calories burned, minutes of exercise, and hours spent standing. Well, working 40 hours at a desk is a little challenging. And I thought it would be the opposite. Working from home, I get a little less steps than I actually do, especially during Wellness Week. I'm glued to this computer throughout the whole day, or my time moderating and making sure that I'm running this for people to be able to speak. So my steps are a little bit lower, and I don't put my watch on first thing in the morning, so I miss those steps. But last night it was 11:30. I was just short of 10,000 steps. I ran down to the basement a few times. It was a little too cold to go outside and just run down the street, but I got my 10,000 steps in, and it doesn't matter what time it is. Just set those daily goals for yourself and make sure that you're achieving them. You don't have to go crazy like me, but get as close to that as you can. You're not going to achieve it every single day. I surely don't, but set some goals for yourself. So that's daily movement and exercise. So they're actually 2 different things. Elimination, going to the bathroom, making sure you're eliminating toxins throughout your body. We'll talk a little bit about detox throughout this. Sleep, making sure you're getting adequate amounts of sleep, removing disruptors, not watching TV right before you fall asleep, not staring at your phone for an hour before you fall asleep. There's a lot of things that we need to do to focus on our sleep to make sure we're getting a good night's rest and we wake up feeling refreshed. Then emotional wellness. This is huge lately. This is something that a lot of people are struggling with. And there's a lot of tools that we can do to remove stressors from our life and rebuild positive emotional wellness. So those are some of the things that we're going to look at. There's some things that I focus on daily. And with one of those things lacking, if you're not drinking enough water, some people wake up, drink coffee, don't really drink much during the day at work, come home, maybe have a glass of water with dinner. That's it. Maybe drink 20 ounces of water a day. I've heard this before, and to me, it's just crazy. I've had already over 20 ounces of water this morning. I've had a cup of coffee. I'm ready for my Pro Colors here soon. That's something I enforce every day, but some people don't have that. And, that's okay, but we need to change that. We need to address that and make some positive changes. So this is just some more excerpts from the Holistic Truth magazine and looking at how to recharge our body. And this chart here just addresses some of the things that I talk about with your daily dose of nutrition. And that includes probiotics, recharging the immune system, the digestive system, your mood and energy. And that's because all of those things, you might think, how are probiotics going to do that? I thought that was just good for the gut, maybe just good for the digestive system. Well, your immune system, about 80% of your immune system and close to 80% of your neurotransmitters and things for your brain are built in the gut. So that's why it's really crucial to make sure that you have a healthy gut, because it affects a lot of other things too. And I did a presentation on Saturday called Healthy Gut, Happy Body, and focused heavily on probiotics and the gut-brain connection. So if you want to learn more, you can go back and listen to that. Amino acids is another key. Looking at protein, some of your macronutrients, the building blocks, and things we need to repair our body. They're really important. We have essential amino acids and non-essential. Some your body makes, some you need to get in through diet. We have essential fatty acids. This plays a role in so many different things. Your endocrine system, brain, mood, joints, skin. The list goes on and on. So that's something that's really important. Enzymes, they kind of go along with the probiotic category. And this is for some people who, if you're eating all natural, freshly grown fruits and vegetables, you're probably getting a lot of enzymes. But if you're eating packaged processed foods, anything like that, you're going to need enzymes. I typically don't take enzymes on a daily basis, but if I have a meal, like if we order something special for lunch at work, or I'm out at an event and have something that I don't normally have, I have my enzymes. I always carry a little trial size bottle. It's super tiny. It fits in my purse. And I keep these with me, and I offer them to others too, because it's a great way to quickly heal your stomach from anything that you've damaged it with. And I'll talk about that a little bit deeper down here. Minerals, nourishing your body, your adrenals, your thyroid, the main organs, and helping with energy production. A lot of people who are tired, a lot of athletes who burn a lot need to replenish with minerals. I was an intense athlete growing up. I was a college athlete, and my mom used to tell me, if you don't take, your multivitamin and your minerals, you'd be better off being a couch potato, because I burned so much off. I was really in need of replenishing it. So that really makes sense. I was more tired when I wasn't eating well to replenish, because I was burning so much energy. And then looking at getting condition specific, recharging your emotions, recharging areas in your body that need assistance. Your joints need help at time. If you're running a marathon or working out really hard in a certain area, or I can feel my eyes bothering me. I have this big light on to make it look a little bit brighter in here. I got 3 lights on in here. It still looks dark. I'm staring at a computer. I feel my eyes straining this week. I'm not in my normal work environment. So I might take the 20/20 to just help temporarily relieve some of that pain. So there's condition-specific products that we recommend taking on a daily basis or as needed, but this really helps you pinpoint different areas. And if you look at the Holistic Truth magazines, it goes through, phases of recharging different areas of your life and being able to walk through all of these on a daily basis. This is one thing. So if you noticed behind my name, I have the letter CNHP, which is Certified Natural Healthcare Professional. So Nutritional Frontiers was amazing and put me through some continuing education, some extra schooling after I graduated from college and was working for them for a few years. And one of my first courses was on hydration. And I thought, am I really going to learn about water? I thought I was going to become, an expert in all these cool things, but this is so key. It's so part of the foundations. I always carry around this big water bottle, about 24 ounces, fill it up multiple times throughout the day. Water is so key for me, and it affects so many different areas of the body. Your joints being lubricated, your skin, so many different things. Your brain is 75% water. When you're functioning on a full reserve of water, you can think faster, be more focused, have more energy. So it's really important, and it helps to flush out toxins. So that's really key. We'll talk about toxins a little bit more, but hydration is one of the biggest things, and it's so important, and it's part of the foundation. So if you're not drinking enough water, it's really time to start. So I just mentioned some toxins that we need to flush out. We've heard a lot about heavy metals and other toxins this week. Heavy metals can be found in, a lot of specific things, but environmental toxins we're seeing everywhere. You see on this list contaminated soils that we're getting our food from. So food sources, industrial waste, kids' toys, personal care products, things that we're putting our food in, like plastics or aluminum foil. Those can all be toxic to our body, toxic to our brain specifically. We're hearing a lot more about brain issues and damage and things like that. We had a roundtable discussion this week, just yesterday, with Dr. Tracy Straub, Jamie Dorley, and Dr. Honigman, and they talked about the brain and heavily focused on that. And if you missed that, that was amazing. Go back and check that out. But there's so many things pointing to the brain nowadays, and we really need to focus on it. Detoxing, supporting, there's so many ways that we can do that. So when we look at our daily dose of nutrition here, we're looking at our food supply as the foundation of that, because we are to eat a healthy diet and we are to supplement where that lacks with some good quality supplements and nutrition. So our food supply has changed because of over farming, soil depletion, commercial fertilizer, like I just mentioned, toxic soil, genetic modifications, and all of these things are changing our food supply. And over 50 years ago, we might have had to eat an apple or a bowl of kale to get a ton of magnesium, but nowadays we might need to times that by 10 to get that amount of minerals or vitamins or whatever it is, because the food supply has changed and the quality of the food has gone down tremendously. So this is not something new. This problem began years ago, 1936, almost 100 years ago. Vegetables are losing their minerals, fruits are losing their vitamins, and this was brought to Congress and they didn't do anything about it. So this is something that we need to become more aware of ourselves. That's why it's important to grow our own gardens, to shop locally, and to support local farmers. You could see the mineral content in the soil was deteriorating. So that was an issue that they were seeing before, and nothing was really done about it. Okay, so this is a fantastic slide, like I mentioned before, in apples and collard greens. Apples, vitamin A is down 41% So almost half compared to 1975, which is only about not even 50 years ago. Collard greens, magnesium is down 88%. So magnesium is one of the most deficient vitamins in Americans today. We're very deficient in magnesium, and you see in other things, iron is down as well. That's something that a ton of people, especially women, have issues with, low iron. And a lot of this is due to 60% of the meals that people eat are eaten outside of the home. For me personally, I might have 1 or 2 meals a week at a restaurant, if that. That's actually very rare for me. I might eat at my parents' or my brothers or sisters during the week, and every day at lunch I pack my own. So it's really important that you're making sure you know where your food is coming from. And I know my siblings and parents are very conscious of this. My parents have chickens in their backyard, so when we eat eggs, we know where they're coming from. A lot of us have gardens, or we go to these certain farms, and we always share that with each other, and we know where it's all coming from, and we're all very conscious of these issues today. So like I said, your foundation should be a healthy lifestyle, a healthy diet, eating the best quality foods that you can find. But where that lacks, we need to supplement our diet with supplements. That's where it gets the name. So these aren't magic pills. They're not going to make up for a poor diet or a poor lifestyle. So we have these multivitamins, fish oils, probiotics, all of this to help promote supplementation where needed. And some things, we talked about all the stress, aging, nutrient depletions caused by medication. So a lot of times there's, medications that people take, and we had, and it was part of the presentation yesterday, Dr. Honigman shared, Tracy shared, Jamie shared, all of the nutrients that are depleted by taking medications. And Dr. Honigman showed his physician's desk reference, where it's this book about this thick, wide, and full of information about prescriptions and also the side effects that they cause, which is nutrients that it depletes from their body. Like a lot of people are very familiar that statin drugs deplete CoQ10 in the body. We know antibiotics kill off bad bacteria, but they also kill off good bacteria. So some things like that, we know that drugs deplete things from our body. So that's why it's good to replenish, especially if you're in that case. So there's a lot of research that proves a need for a multivitamin. We know women who are pregnant, a prenatal is the most recommended thing for them. So if, and I always look at this, they say pregnant women shouldn't eat sushi or lunch meat or certain things. And, I wonder, well, if it's not safe for a pregnant person, is it safe for me? Anyone else who's not carrying a child? If it's not safe for them, then how is it safe for me? So you got to look at those things, and they say, to be really careful about the fish that you eat, and because they're high in mercury, heavy metals. Well, just because I'm not carrying a child right now doesn't mean I want those heavy metals in my body, because we all know we can't really process and eliminate heavy metals without some additional support. So I always look at that, and I think if it's not safe or recommended for a pregnant person, I don't want to take it either. And, the need for a multivitamin, a prenatal, whatever you want to call it, I want that. I want that too. I want all the nutrients. I need all the benefits from that as well. So this was a really cool study done in 2002 by JAMA. They changed their position. So for years, they used to always just say, eat right. That was the recommendation for, dietary recommendations that they had. But in 2002, almost 20 years ago, they changed their position. They said, eat right and take a multivitamin every day. So this is a Journal of American Medical Association recommending to take a supplement every day. So this was really great news, but a lot of practitioners still aren't recommending this, not following along with it. And when they do, oftentimes it is not a great multivitamin. So we'll get into that a little bit, but this was really great information and something that we have to look at. The RDAs, RDIs, DRIs, what that stands for: recommended daily allowance, recommended daily intake, and dietary reference intake. So these are just, and you'll see that on the back of a supplement label. It'll show you a percentage daily value. And that's really important to look at. But it's also good to know which RDAs, RDIs are actually of good benefit. People worry about vitamin D levels. Well, if you live closer to the equator, you may need to get more, you may need to get less vitamin D in through your diet. But if you live in Pennsylvania like myself and you don't see the sun as much, you may need higher amounts of vitamin D. Or if it is cold and flu season, you're going to need higher amounts of vitamin D. So these are things to go off of, and it's really good to do your own research and figure out when to take these, how much to take, and when to take a break. So looking at how to choose a multivitamin. So there's 3 things that we really look at when taking any supplement, because not everything is created the same. The dose of ingredients, so how much you're getting, and that can go along with the daily recommendations. The form of the nutrients, which I'll talk a little bit more about, and other ingredients, what else is added in there. A lot of people in my generation grew up with Flintstone vitamins. If you look at the other ingredients in there, it's not organic cane sugar, it's not stevia, to sweeten the little chewy tabs that some kids think taste good. I think luckily for my generation, most of us were hiding them under the little edge of the table or throwing them away when our parents weren't looking. But in the other ingredients listed is aspartame, which is a chemical, which is a neurotoxin, which is a toxin to the brain. So one thing that we don't want to see in our supplements is other ingredients like that added that could actually cause more damage than good. And, we look at things that one of the most popular supplements on the market right now is CBD. A lot of the plants are soaked in heavy solvents, heavy toxic solvents like butane, hexane, things like that. And it's still carries through in that. It's not cleaned out. Nutritional Frontiers doesn't even use that in the whole process. We use an extraction that pulls the oil out with like a gas or a pressure. It's a little bit more expensive of a process than rather just soaking them and pulling it out, but you're left with that in the product. So sometimes even that little bit for a sensitive person can cause a trigger to cause something wrong in the body when you're trying to take something good. You're trying to give your kids a multivitamin, but then there's this neurotoxin in it. So you really have to be careful for that and look out for some of those things. And then, so we talked about the form of ingredients. This is a great slide that presents this information. We use patented, research, trademarked ingredients. And this is something that Nutritional Frontiers really prides ourselves on. This is something that is really unique about our company compared to the other professional brands in the industry. We're along the same lines as companies that have been around for 50 to 100 years, even though we're only about 13 years old. We have a lot of really great formulas, and I have to say we utilize more trademarked ingredients than anyone else in the industry, hands down. On this slide, you just see 5 here. They're some of the most commonly used ones. All of our minerals and vitamins are through TRACS, the real amino acid chelates, through Albion Minerals, and we get everything from them. And if we have an older formula, trust me, it's in transition to be switched over to that. So what we're doing as a company is we are adding more and more trademarked ingredients to our line. The curcumin, for example, is a trademarked ingredient of turmeric, and it's 46% more bioavailable than a generic brand. So if you're taking that, you're gonna get a bigger benefit than you would just taking a generic form. Quadrifolic, that's a huge one. This is something that makes our company so unique because a lot of people are aware of poor methylation and people who can't process folic acid in the body. And then we mentioned pregnant women before, but this is something that we know affects about 45 to 50% of our population. People cannot process folic acid into folate in the body. And that's one of our B vitamins. That's one of our stress vitamins. It's something that's so crucial for people. And half of our population has an issue processing that. So we use all these trademarked ingredients, and we also have unique delivery systems. These are two things that always sets us apart. I go to these big trade shows, there's hundreds, if not thousands of other supplement companies there, and you see people walk by and they'll glance at you, oh yeah, just another supplement company, or, but when people stop by, they'll say, what makes you guys different? We talk about the patented research trademarked ingredients, and we talk about the delivery systems. So how do you prefer to take your supplements? We talked about multivitamins a lot so far. Do you like to take big tablets or horse pills, as people say? I don't. I won't take one if that's my option. So we have a lot of vegetable capsules, which are really great, really easy, soft gels, liquids, where they come in tinctures. You could just pour them into directly into your mouth or into a shake or drink that you're having. Chewables, which are my favorite. Sprays and even creams, and we have a transdermal cream, which is unlike anything else on the market. It actually gets into the tissues, the bloodstream. It's not just a topical, which in the end really doesn't do a whole lot. It gives you temporarily relief, but these are two things that really sets Nutritional Frontiers apart, and really important to highlight these when choosing supplements. So our Frontier multivitamin is amazing, comes in a veggie cap, which is really easy to swallow. Like I was just talking about, it's a complete multi-mineral formula with bioflavonoids, antioxidants. You'll see a little bit more here. Almost 6 times as much vitamin C and B than most, more than 3 times as much vitamin E, twice as much of other minerals. The list goes on and on here, 33 times as much B12. Which we know is one of our stress vitamins here. So it provides higher amounts of these key nutrients compared to others on the market. And you'll see the quadrifolic, red beet powder, those albion minerals that I talked about, 10 times more vitamin D, which is so important nowadays, CoQ10, which I've never seen in a multivitamin before, and the Lutamax 2020, which is actually an ingredient that won Functional Ingredient of the Year in, I think, 2018. It's a fantastic ingredient that helps with, there's a lot of studies for eye health, but it's a very powerful antioxidant, which is great for anti-aging. So it does so many different things. So this is a complete multivitamin, delivers more than 60 well-balanced nutrients, and highlighting the trademark ingredients that we have. Another multi that we have is called Women's Complete, and this is something that men can take as well. And I have the supplement panel up here, which I really like the way that this is broken down, because there's so much in here. It's kind of hard to see all at once, but we utilize over 7 trademarked ingredients in this product, which is awesome. It has an activated vitamin blend. So what that means is, the vitamins that you need, but in an active form that the body is ready to process it. So it doesn't need much conversion or anything, because there's a lot of people who can't do that naturally. And it's just better to take it in this form. Same with the chelated minerals from Albion, like I mentioned before. A lot of times what companies do, and you'll see this a little bit further, is they'll use a cheap form of an ingredient. So for example, magnesium, you'll see magnesium bisglycinate chelate. A lot of times the way we see magnesium is magnesium oxide, and that's magnesium and oxide mixed together, just mixed and in a supplement. But what you see with this chelate here is you take the mineral and an amino acid and you bind them together to make it more absorbable in the body. So these are really great forms of the minerals, the vitamins to take, and it makes it easy on the body. And there's so much in here. A lot of people worry about it's too much, or they worry about, I can't absorb all of that at once. This is a product that I take daily. It's amazing. And I take 2 in the morning with breakfast, and I take 2 at lunch So I'm taking it with food. A lot of these are fat soluble, so I am absorbing it all very well, not taking too much at once because I take other products along with it. Then you see a wellness complex. You have the probiotics in here. You have dimethylglycine, which we talk a lot about. The superfoods blend, which is, could be a good detoxer. It's just a good whole foods add-on to this product that makes it really great. So the forms that we're talking about, they affect the absorption. So veggie caps make it suitable for everyone to take, easier to swallow, digest, and absorb than tablets. And I don't think I have this in here, but one thing that we compare it to a lot, Centrum. A lot of people come into the wellness clinic and they ask if we have a one-a-day. So no, we don't have any one-a-days, because if you think of all the nutrients that are recommended for us by JAMA and everyone, they recommend all these vitamins and minerals and nutrients. You want to take it in a tiny little tablet? That's not going to happen. So we have, for example, recommended of 4 veggie caps for the multivitamin, and it's really easy to swallow those. So one thing we found with Centrum is that we found this through x-rays, and this was something actually found through workers with a porta-john, and I'll get to that. So in the x-rays, we saw, and if you Google this, Centrum multivitamin x-ray, you could see there were about 3 different tablets in someone's digestive tract. And this may have been someone with a compromised digestive tract, but regardless, you could see these tablets come up on an x-ray because they have calcium and things like that in them. So you could see where day 1 was a little bit further down, day 2 halfway up, day 3, you're not digesting these, they're not getting through the digestive tract, and they're not absorbing. And another thing that we found that was very interesting, you can Google this as well, is that workers through porta-john were finding these little white things in what they were cleaning up. So they knew that it was Centrum because of the little C or the little mark or whatever's on that was matching up the same way before someone had ingested it. So that was something really interesting that was found. So some people can take a multivitamin and go through days and excrete it and it not absorb at all. So that's 2 things that I found were just crazy to think about compared to the multivitamin that we have. So much easier to digest, and nutrients are absorbed and utilized by the body. So this is what I was mentioning before about the tracks. I mentioned the chelates in terms of magnesium, for an example. Mag oxide is a cheap form. That's why a lot of companies use it. It has laxative effects, which if you're constipated, that could be useful. Again, zinc oxide, so many people have purchased zinc in the last few months, and you need a good form of zinc, not something cheap, not something that's going to not be absorbed through the body. So there's a lot of examples of this. The point is you can trust Nutritional Frontiers and the options that we have for supplements because we're using the good forms. And that's one of the top 3 things we talk about being important whenever you look at what you need in a multivitamin or a supplement in general. This is another thing I talked about. If you remember the example of the CBD and the Flintstone vitamins, so leading over-the-counter multivitamins and other supplement lines contain additives and preservatives like cornstarch, talc, which has tremendous research behind it, lawsuits that it's caused damage, hydrogenated oils, artificial food colorings. And the worst thing I'll see is I'll get a free sample, a packet of something, and it'll say natural and artificial flavors. Like, it's a food-derived product, and there's so many different ways, the natural colors or artificial colors. Who cares what color your supplements are? Who cares what color your vitamins are? What I want is quality. So, that's unfortunate that we're exposed to that, but we have to be aware of those. Turn your bottles around, see what's on the underneath the other ingredients. And sometimes even if they're in small amounts, it might be too much for you. So This is just something recapping the JAMA article talking about some of the research that they found, and there was suboptimal levels of vitamins and minerals in people, and there's also deficiencies in people. That you could have a magnesium deficiency. Half of our country has it. We look at our muscles, our ability to relax and stop stressing, to be able to calm down in the evening, to be able to sleep well. We hear AFib, heart issues, irregular heartbeat. These are all things that can be supported by magnesium. And sometimes there's deeper issues that people may have, but a lot of times these things can be off to a better start with magnesium. So this is just part of the peer-reviewed journal piece that Nutritional Frontiers put together in a consumer health alert to just educate a little bit further. And then we put something else, follow up, what's in your multivitamin. So this talks about the forms of the nutrients, the dose of the nutrients, and the other or extra ingredients that can be added in there, and just some tips and things to watch out for. Another great product that I recommend taking every day is a fish oil. So we have the omega-3D, which is a blend of non-GMO natural oils from fish that combines healthy benefits of the omegas and the vitamin D. So it's omega fish oils and vitamin D added together. They absorb really well together. And one thing that we need to be careful of is looking at how much EPA and DHA are in the supplements that you're getting. And this is really important here, this last point. It's independently third-party tested for mercury, PCBs, and dioxins. So it gets sent out, a bottle from each batch gets sent out to a lab to do third-party testing. And the company that does it, they don't care what the actual results are. They're getting paid either way to do their job and process it. Whereas a lot of companies do their own testing and they say, yep, it's good. No mercury, no PCBs. And there can be some skewing of that. There's been some lawsuits and things like that. So third-party testing is really key. And this is why fish oil is great. This is why I recommend it for everyone daily. I mentioned before, it has so many different benefits. Neurological, we'll start with this, can be really supportive for development. We talk about pregnant women taking this. As we age, we're still growing. We're faced with all these things. We need to support the brain. Helps with prevention or treatment of Alzheimer's and depression. It can really help boost the mood and support the brain. Can be really beneficial for that. Help with hair, skin, and bones, your cardiovascular support, triglycerides, stroke, heart attacks, the #1 killer in the United States. So there's a really good article on this. I don't think it's included, but cardiovascular risk can be reduced by 90% by taking fish oil. We have a really great article on this, and there's so much research behind this proof. The endocrine system, we know fish oil is great for that. The immune system, anything inflammatory, it's a natural anti-inflammatory, so it's great for so many things. And it needs to be rich in EPA and DHA. So this little illustration down here on the bottom left are your cells. What we want our cells to look like are grapes, for example. Whenever we lack EPA and DHA and good essential fats in our body, our cells tend to look dried up, dehydrated. And if we're comparing a healthy cell to a grape, we can compare an unhealthy cell to a raisin. We don't want our cells to look like raisins. So we want to be very anti-inflammatory. We want to be very hydrated, have healthy cells, good fats in our body, and we want our cells to be rich and healthy. So another thing to look at for a daily recommendation that I have is probiotics to support your intestinal health. I talked about this a little bit at the beginning and talking about how beneficial your gut is for so many different things. Your immune system is built there. Your neurotransmitters are built there. It can affect your mood, your immune system. So it's really important. And I've heard a good comparison or analogy or whatever you want to call it, that our probiotics in our gut are like a fingerprint for our body. So there's trillions of microorganisms in our system. It's a complex bacteria. That's why all of the different strains are really beneficial. So many different species, and leaky gut is something that's so common because of all of the food that we eat. And like I mentioned before, there's no such thing as junk food. There's either junk or food. There's a whole lot of junk circulating throughout the standard American diet, which is referred to as the SAD diet. And it's really important to focus on your intestinal health. Make sure you're taking a good probiotic. Oh, and this is something that I hear people taking so often. This is a news article from when this was pulled off the shelves. So the FDA warned detected levels of cancer-causing chemicals in this drug Zantac. So this is something that people take over the counter to relieve heartburn. It's an acid reducer, which oftentimes what we need is something to provoke stomach acid or to help with digestion, because a lot of times we feel that, heartburn where it's almost like stomach acid is coming up instead of going down. What we need is something to produce more stomach acid to break down our food and digest it. So this is something that if you look at the suggestions or recommendations for it, it says don't take more than 7 days, which most people have been on this for years. I see a lot of, Tums, Zantac. There's a lot of different names for this. And some of my even young friends, bedrooms or bathrooms, I see it everywhere. We go away for the weekend. Someone always brings the Tums, and I don't think I might have tried one of my roommates in college. Just I didn't know much back then, and I don't think it hurt me, but people live off these things. And a much better alternative is to carry around this little bottle with you. I have it in multiple places. I have it in my fridge. I have it at work, of course, in my office, in my bedroom, in the closet. I have them everywhere because I take them all the time. And there's nothing worse than an upset stomach. It affects your mood and it affects your energy. It affects so many different things. And it's just really important to focus on this and be aware. This is something that had a cancer causing agent in it. And it's just, we have to be aware of what's in these products. So that goes along with the other ingredients. So Probzyme, I mentioned, helps with so many different things, from heartburn, acid reflux, gas and bloating, stomach pain, indigestion, constipation, diarrhea, from the overuse of antibiotics, and just poor digestion in general. So it's great for kids because you can crush it up or kids can chew it. It's good for people who have trouble swallowing pills, older adults who have sensitive teeth, and it has a blend of 6 beneficial probiotics and 6 beneficial enzymes. So the combination of these two in a chewable is unlike anything else. And it's something that I recommend daily because you're getting your probiotics and your enzymes. And if you look at, do I have this in here? The Nutritional Frontiers Pyramid of Health. At the very bottom, we have probiotics and enzymes because that is part of our foundation when looking at nutrition and when looking at supplements. So probiotics, enzymes, you can get them both in one with a bottle of Probzyme and work your way up here. We talked about macro micronutrients, the multivitamin. We talked about the essential fats, the fish oil. And, we talked about some of these specific on here. And if that one isn't right for you, we have a lot of different options, but there's something for everyone in our line. And we just recommend going off of this as your baseline, your foundation. And, we focus heavily on some of these things to reset the body, remove toxins, rebuild and recharge. And in time, we are going to be able to function properly with optimal health and not have to worry about these things. But, we're faced with toxins and heavy metals and chemicals all day, every day. So it's best to make some of these decisions choose the best choices that you can, especially when in your home. Eat most meals from your home or where you know they're being sourced from. Support locally, and make these choices, and then supplement your diet where needed. Supplement with a good multivitamin, a good fish oil, a good probiotic. Those are 3 things that I do daily that make a huge difference in my life, and a huge difference in the lives of people that I've done consultations for, people who have more chronic issues that need assistance with their foundations. And once they start to get on a program like this, they will notice that other issues that they've had, knee pain, chronic headaches, migraines, things like that will subside a little bit because their foundations are better. And of course that goes with sleeping, exercising, movement, all of that throughout the day. And following this regimen of supplements, focusing on your daily dose of nutrition can really make a big difference. So we got some more great presentations coming up today. This was just a part of my foundations that I recommend for, like I said, almost everybody. It's safe, it's effective, and they're all food-based supplements. They're all derived from actual food. We can't always, and we don't always have access to the types of foods that we need to eat daily. So that's where we supplement. And that's my 2 cents on it. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you stay tuned for the rest of the Wellness Week coming up. And we'll see you again.